The Japanese destroyer line is about to split. Many of the ships you know are being re-tiered. The branch will split at Tier 5 and you'll see a new line that goes up through Tier 8 in addition to the normal line. Let's take a look at two of the new Tier 7 ships that will replace the Tier 7 Hatsaharu. In the new IJN destroyer line, you will have the Akatsuki and the Shiratsuyu at Tier 7. Both ships will play differently, so pay attention. Akatsuki is capable of 38 knots with a 7.3 kilometer surface detection range. She carries 6 127mm rifles and 9 torpedoes. She reloads her torpedoes at 76 seconds, which is fairly quick. Unfortunately, the Akatsuki is a large destroyer with a large surface detection range to match. She is slower than other ships of her tier and less stealthy. The only saving grace is that, as mentioned, her 9 torpedoes reload relatively quick, but her awful surface detection takes away her advantages. The torpedoes are 10-kilometer torpedoes, and that might help her against lower-tiered ships. However, in her own tier, she will get eaten alive by other destroyers and cruisers. The Shiratsuyu carries 5 127mm rifles, 8 torpedoes, and on paper seems to be a lesser Akatsuki in both torpedo and gunboat roles. Her speed is also slower than the 38 knots of the Akatsuki at only 34 knots. Despite this, of the two ships, she is the more enjoyable. With a 6.7 kilometer surface detection range, Shiratsuyu is the stealthiest Tier 7 destroyer. The biggest bonus to Shiratsuyu is she gets the torpedo reload booster, and she doesn't have to trade out her smoke generator for it. What's more, this accelerates the reload to 5 seconds. Yes, 5 seconds. This means her 8 launchers can spit out 16 torpedoes inside of 7 seconds if you're fast on the trigger finger. This ability gives the Shiratsuyu a massive first strike capability in the opening minutes of the round. Still, the low top speed can be alarming, especially when you have large battleships of Tier 7 and 8 bearing down on you and actually catching up. Do remember how slow you are and take heed. While the Shiratsuyu seems to be the more exciting of the two ships, remember that the other destroyers in the line will play heavily into which tree split you'll want to play first. Stay tuned for more. Overall, Zoup and Little White Mouse recommend the Shiratsuyu over the two. She offers explosive opening round firepower and alpha strike capability. The Akatsuki will be captain skill dependent in whether she can make use of her 6 guns. Tier 7 is challenging for destroyers, especially when up-tiered. Keep that in mind.